Hi everyone, I'm Tom Warren from workfeelsgood.com. Today, I'm posting one of Jade Albert's Telling It Like It Is episodes. Telling It Like It is a fantastic Facebook Live series that airs every Wednesday morning at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. In this episode, Jade interviews me about how we can get out of our own way to help our small businesses succeed. Now, Jade is passionate about helping small business owners. You can check him out at jadealbertsconsulting.com, and of course, he's all over social media. I originally posted this video on LinkedIn and Twitter, but I got such a great response that I thought I'd post it again as a Work Feels Good TV episode for my blog subscribers. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our blog yet, just go to workfeelsgood.com. You can also join our Work Feels Good community and learn how you can reclaim your world of work and build thriving organizations. So sit back, enjoy the show, and until next time, I know we're all going to do everything we can to create a world where work feels good. Bye for now.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jade Alberts, and I'm a business strategist influence based out of Calgary, Alberta. Sharing knowledge and stories is why I started the Telling It Like It Is Facebook Live production, and it has been wonderful for everybody involved. If you have any live questions during the broadcast, please shoot them down. If you have any questions after the fact and you're catching this on LinkedIn or Facebook later, put them down there, and Tom and I will answer them. I would also like to thank Rogers Insurance for being a sponsor of this broadcast. They supply the human approach to insurance. I highly recommend giving them a call. I'll give you a little more information later on, but they offer a discount to all my Telling It Like It Is guests. Today's guest is Tom Morin from Work Feels Good. Tom, how you doing today? And thank you for joining.
I'm doing very good, and thanks for asking me to be here.
Oh, well, you and I met again at a networking event, and I'm excited to have you on here. And, it's been a little while, but I'm excited about our different, interesting approach today.
Right. Yeah, looking forward to the chat.
So as I said, we're going to take a little bit of a different approach today. We are going to talk about achieving business or personal goals. We often hear people say, you know what, we got to get out of our own way. So today, we are going to answer 3 of those questions. What does it mean? Why should we do it? And how we do it. So I guess question number 1 is, I'll let Tom answer it, and then I'll chime in a little later. But what do we mean when we say we need to get out of our own way?
Yeah, I always like it when people say, they tell me, Tom, you need to get out of your own way. And I think the best way to understand it is we know what it means to be in somebody else's way. So if we're asking somebody to do something or somebody's doing something for us, imagine somebody working around your house. A plumber comes in to fix the drain in your sink. You know what it means to be in that plumber's way. It's like you got to move out of his way so that person can do his work. But what if there's something that's keeping you from actually moving out of that plumber's way? Well, that's how you're in your own way. So as an example, if I think I'm supposed to always be helping that plumber, well, not only can I not get out of the plumber's way, but I don't even know I'm supposed to get out of the plumber's way. So that's how I need to get out of my own way first, and then once we get out of our own way, there's a whole world of possibilities that happen. And in that example, when I get out of my own way, I understand that I need to get out of the plumber's way so he can do his work.
No, and that's a great analogy. That one hits a little closer to home because I just had my plumber in here. So, but I mean, I totally 100% agree with that. I mean, and what I see out there is one of the biggest challenges is my clients of future and past, and I'm sure, and definitely in the past, is letting go. They have successful businesses. They need to focus on what they're good at and bring someone in to, help them what they're good at. Asking for help. I say this all the time. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but rather the first step to your next level of success. So I really, try and stress with my clients, to just let things go. Don't be scared to delegate. And that is, one of the biggest, first steps to letting go.
Right.
So I guess question 2 is, what is getting out of the way or asking or, letting go or asking for help?
Right. And that's a really good example, asking for help. So getting out of my own way, if I'm in my own way, I'm I'm actually not able to ask for help. I'm either not aware that I should do it, or there's something, I want to do it, but there's something stopping me from doing it. So if I
Yeah.
want to get out of my own way and ask for help, maybe I can't do it because I believe in this self-made person myth, self-made man, self-made woman, do it all yourself. And, what's that saying? If you want it done right, do it yourself. Well, all that stuff that we hear, like self-made person, you want it done right, do it yourself, that's just stuff that everybody's told us, but that's how we learn, and we've learned something that's not helpful.
Yeah.
So I can't get out of my own way. I can't, get somebody to help me because I've been, you know, programmed, or I believe in something that's getting in my way. So what's stopping us from asking for help? Well, for some reason, we think we're supposed to do it ourselves, or there's some shame in asking for help. But all that stuff is just made up. Once we realize that most things we're told, we have a choice on whether we believe them or not, and there's no universal truth. Like, there's not some, big businessman in the sky that says, oh, you never ask for help, do it all yourself. That doesn't exist. So we've just been convinced that perhaps that we should do things ourselves. And as soon as we realize we have a choice, now we can to get out of our own way or to do something that's uncomfortable takes courage, because it's going to feel uncomfortable. But as soon as I realize that I have a choice, I can ask for help. There's no shame in it. Now muster up that courage and ask for help. But first thing is understanding that we actually do have a choice. Maybe the stuff that we've been told, or the way we've been told to be, isn't really helping us. So put that aside, ask for help.
Oh man, that's an excellent answer. I mean, being scared because, and there's so many reasons, whether it be they want to look bad or they want to look weak or whatever it may be. But I 100% agree with you. I mean, and listening, and I try and have my clients either get out there to network, to find somebody, to have a mentor. I mean, I have a mentor, and I had lunch with him the other day, and I ran through a bunch of things with him. We're always in constant contact, whether it be text or email. But I mean, you really need someone to get out there and tell it like it is, give you your honest feedback. So, there's so many people that have gone through what you're going through, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You need someone to give you honest, positive feedback on your business. So having someone to talk to, whether it be in your network or a mentor, I think is extremely important, to helping, getting out of your own way. That's for sure. So I guess the next question is, how can we start to get out of our own way?
Right, and I think so. Once we realize that perhaps we're the ones holding ourselves back, right? That means we're
Yeah.
getting in our own way. And then once we realize we actually have a choice on how we behave and what we can do, with that realization comes a bit of uncertainty, or for lack of a better term, anxiety. Because what happens is, when we realize we have choice, we realize that we're responsible for those choices. So that can be a little frightening, because, I always tell my clients, you get what you create. And everything good that you have, take credit for that. But everything that you don't like that's happening, by the way, you created that too. We create that through our choices. So once we realize that we can ask for help, it's a little scary, because all of a sudden I have to muster up the courage to ask for help. And when I turn things over to somebody else, depending on your preferences, your personality, that can be uncomfortable. And I'll just give an example. And we were chatting before the call about my new website is up. My first website, and for my previous businesses also, I designed them all. I went to one of those templated companies, got my URL through my registrar, and did a website. And I'm really happy with what I did for the first few times. But my wife told me, she said, Tom, if you want to be successful, even more successful than in the past, if you just do things the same way you've always done, you're only going to achieve the same level of success. So I thought, okay, I've got to do something that I haven't done before. And with the website, I got to give that to somebody else. I got to find my wife said to our service provider, she said, we need a kick-ass website. And she looked him right in the eye when she said that. And I said, okay, so that means that Tom, me, has not produced a kick-ass website yet. So when I turned my website over to, his name's Adam, he runs a company called Turkey Bird Creative, I was nervous. I felt uncomfortable. And many times I would call Adam and I ask him some detailed technical questions because I wanted to regain control. So it's scary, but I just keep telling myself, you've asked for help, let it go, lean into that discomfort, Tom. Like, know that, it's not like I'm doing some bad thing. I'm trying to do something good every day. And if I do something good every day, even if I'm nervous about it, it means I'm moving forward. So when people say, how do I actually get out of my own way? Well, I think you muster up the courage to, for example, ask for help, and then you stay with that discomfort. You stay with that fear. As long as you're trying hard, you will achieve something great. You get what you create. But the minute we give into that fear and that discomfort of giving up control, or I'm ashamed because I asked for help because I didn't know how to do something, we're kind of falling back on our own patterns. And you know what? I don't want to be judgmental. If somebody falls back on their own patterns and they're happy with the level of success they achieve by doing that, more power to them. But if you want to achieve something different than you have before, you're going to have to be different.
Oh no, absolutely. And that doubt, sometimes that doubt is, as you said, is such a fear. And that's kind of like, I was thinking my answer was a little more old school, but it actually kind of maybe just expands on yours a little bit. I mean, sure. My suggestion is to go with your gut feeling. So many people in today think, oh my goodness, I got to analyze this. I got to, there's data for this. One of my old business partners from Nathan's, they basically said, I just go, it comes down to it. Sometimes I just go with my gut feeling, and it's right, and it doesn't make it wrong. Whether you make a decision, it's made. But sometimes we complicate things and overthink things, and it might hamper some of our success because we aren't ready to let go or get out of our own way. So, yeah. I mean, I always say help is only a phone call away, and as you start to let things go and get out of your own way, you shouldn't look at it as, oh my goodness, how much is this going to cost me? It's going to be, how much is this going to make me grow, make my company grow, make my business grow? An investment is needed in that. So, I mean, again, my answer a little more old school, but I really do. And to this day, like we were talking before, I trust my gut feeling, even about some businesses in the States I'm looking at right now. Mm-hmm. I just, it's something I might not want to do, and I'm probably not going to do it. So, yeah. That's kind of my gut feeling answer.
Yeah, and I'll just mention that, like, our gut tells us ask for help, but then our brain kicks in and says, oh, but you should be ashamed of that, or aren't you supposed to, if you want it done right, aren't you supposed to do it yourself? And our brain gets in the way of our gut. Our gut knows we need help, we want to do something, but that darn brain gets in the way. So you're right. Trust your gut, and remember the difference between your initial, like, one question I often ask my clients when we're trying to find out what to do, I'll say, I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to tell me the answer. That kind of makes it safe. But I want you to just pay attention to the very first thing that comes into your brain. And the first thing that comes into their brain is their gut choice. But then if they sit with that, they say, so for example, I say, how can you, what's the first thing what's something you can do today that'll really accelerate your business, your success? And the first thing that might pop into their brain is like, call my website guy and, sign that contract. But they might not want to say that because it's like, well, I'm supposed to do the website myself. I could really save some money, all that stuff. Trust your gut. Your gut knows what to do, and recondition your brain.
No, absolutely. And I say this, and I have it a lot of my even advertising. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. And I mean, I say that all the time, and I stress that. So I guess let's kind of focus on a little bit of you. What's next for Tom, and what's next for Work Feels Good?
Yeah, so big changes. The biggest change, of course, that most people see is the new website. It was launched on Friday, and just another plug for Adam at Turkey Bird Creative. Did a fantastic job, not only with the website, but the whole marketing campaign and all that stuff. So that's going really well. Of course, there's more and more speaking. I'm always open to new speaking engagements. My next one is in Toronto in January. I'm speaking about the future of meaningful work, and I'm talking about how generations that are just moving into the workforce and future generations, how not so much how automation and artificial intelligence is going to change the world of work. We just take that as a given, but we're talking about how will we find work meaningful in the future with all this technological change. And really fantastic group of speakers. I'm honored to be one of them. And yeah, looking forward to my new book. Should be out in 2019. And yeah, just writing and speaking is what I do. So just really enjoying it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know, I'm glad you mentioned your book, because I was going to ask about it. And I mean, once you're done and once it's out there, we'll have you on again to, get it on, and you'll be my third author on, which is exciting, which is really exciting for me. So, so I know we kind of did this a little different today, but I mean, I always like ending it. I know obviously we focused on getting out of your own way, which in my opinion is one of the biggest, issues people have in the workplace. But if you had one other piece of advice for an entrepreneur or a small business, Tom, what would it be?
Well, if you just do things the same way you always have, you're likely to achieve the same level of success. If you're satisfied with that, fantastic, continue. But if you haven't been satisfied with your previous level of success, you're going to have to do things differently. And doing things differently means getting help. You're going to have to bring other people in. You're going to have to make radical changes, and that's going to feel uncomfortable. But unless you do that, you're only going to achieve the same level of success that you've achieved in the past. So what I always tell people, and it's a common thing you hear in, social workers and healthcare professions, they say, lean into the discomfort. So you feel that discomfort, don't lean back from it, don't shy away from it, lean into it. And when you feel that discomfort and you're trying to do good things, know that you're growing and you're going to achieve hopefully a higher level of success.
Oh, that's a great piece of advice. I love it. And I'm really happy with how our discussion went today, because I truly believe getting out of your own way is a first step, into growing yourself and your business. So I really appreciate you, Tom, coming on and talking about this. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your knowledge. It was priceless.
Well, thanks for being here. I always enjoy being on your show, Jade. And I hope a lot of people are watching, telling it like it is. I know you've done some great work for small businesses, and this show is a fantastic example of that. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. So that wraps up our episode today. Again, thank you to Tom Morin at workfeelsgood.com. Again, thank you to Rogers Insurance for sponsoring this show. You can go to www.rogersinsurance.ca/Jade to request a quote for your business, for your personal, whatever it may be. They will offer you a discount. And again, they supply the human approach to insurance in today's world. So thanks again, Tom. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk next week. Bye-bye.